been a while since we've done a update on some tumbling, so I thought today, got a little time to take a look at this current batch which is going, and let's see what we've got. This is the batch that just went in last week, so it's the first week on this one. It's got these red. This is the batch that's going to go the longest. We'll take a look at the first week ones first. Turn the light here a little bit. It's a nice waterline agate. Now, all of this will not come out, so at some point we'll just say that's enough, but for 1 week it's looking very nice. So back in the barrel. Okay, second one here. Trying to remember what I threw in here. I think it's a bunch of Malawis that were tumble grade, if I remember correctly. I will, if it's wrong, I'll put it on the screen. These are going to be beautiful when they're finished. So here's the next one, and zoom in a little bit. See, there's some nice bands in there, so when those polish up, they're going to be beautiful. This is dry. Let me give it wet. It'll look a little better. You can probably see the bands better. Yes. So let's go to the next. So I did confirm these are Mozambiques, cabbing and tumbling. Select from Highland Park. So they do look kind of rough, but it's only been a week, so a lot of progress made already. This is wet, so of course you see the light reflection. I've never, excuse me, I've never tumbled these before, so this is a new experience for me. I'm thinking that's going to take at least a month in the 60-90 to get them to where I want them before I'll put them in the vibe for the final polishing stages, but they are going to be gorgeous. I love all these little, I don't know what you call them, imperfections on the outside, and then you look on the inside and it's just like such a difference, so beautiful. Wow, look at the bands on that baby. All around. That'll just the right size for palm stone when it's done. This one doesn't have too many bands on the inside, but that's fine. Not everything has to be full of bands. But lovely shadows in there. It'll be interesting when that's finished. Sometimes it's hard to describe. You just kind of want to stare instead of talk. Goodness gracious. You wouldn't think when you picked up something that looked like this on the outside, you'd have such beauty on the inside. Well, there's the outside with its little pits. As soon as you get towards the, you start turning it. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I don't know if you can hear that backup beeper going in, but if you can, pardon that. I had no idea what's going on outdoors at the moment. It's white stripe across the middle is quite interesting. I need to zoom out a little bit. This is a bigger one. Very interesting. I don't tend to make a lot of cabs. I'm sure somebody would have gone, I need to cut that and make a cab out of it, but it does have those fracture lines, so I don't know if that would have worked all that well. I occasionally do some cabs, but it's not my forte. A lot going on in there. That focused a little bit better. This is more of what I think of when I think of Mozambique, so that peachy color. Don't know if those are dendrites or what. Interesting. Let's see if we can, let's dry it up a little, see if we can see it better. Interesting. Get that a little wet. Oh, look at the nice shadows in there. That's so lovely. And, oh my goodness, look at all those bands on that side. That's going to be gorgeous when it's done. That's good. Looks like it's a piece of that other one. It's got that same sort of brown speckles in the middle. Very nice. Another piece of that with a really cool, maybe opaly banding. Technically, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it is quite beautiful. Slice off that other pinky one, peachy one. Some nice bands in here. And here's the other half of that waterline one. Notice how they're not straight. That's so cool. Quite the scene in there. So that's the barrel that I've only been in for a week. This will be the second barrel. These ones, most of them, well, I can't say most of them until I look at them, can I? There'll be ones to move on to buy, perhaps. This one, I think I would still like, where did I see that little, oh, it's in there somewhere. That little pit right there, and the reflection going over it. I like to have that out before I move it on. Ooh, that's way too close. That's a big one. This might be a Mozambique also. I don't remember for sure. Oh, tubes in there. This little death plate from the pond. I don't find too many of those. Lots of little crinoid bits in there that have been agatized. Very cool. Very silicified, so that's why it's going in the tumbler. A lot of them are way too soft. Another agate. Getting to be pretty close to move it on. Obviously, unless I cut that part off there, it would. Obviously, I would have to cut that part off there for it to be totally smooth. But the rest of it's getting close enough. Probably won't be much longer before it moves into the rotary. No, into the vibe. It's in the rotary. Goodness gracious. Okay, what has we got next here? It's just a piece of Illinois chert. Back it goes. I don't know what to do with this one, to be truthful. It's just got so many pits in it. It's never going to be smooth unless it's tinier than you can possibly see. So I'm just going to move it on to see what happens. This is a piece of chert with some nice agates in it. Very nice pattern in there. Really like that. This might be one of the South Dakota agates. Pretty sure that's what it is. This next one's a piece of coral. Probably Favicites because it's got really small hexagons in there. Found this in a cornfield here near the house years ago. Oh, look at that. That is polishing up so nice. Oh my goodness. What's that? Look at we get shadow banding if I can hold still. I should set my hands down. It would be better than holding them up. Wow. I'm impressed. I don't know how many years ago I picked this up, but it was before I had a tumbler. Quite pleased with how this is turning out. There's another agate with some, what do we call, tubes and bands. Very, very nice. This one I'm going to move on. Yes. Gorgeous. Look at that shadow banding in there. Holy mother of goodness. There's the next. Oops, forgot to zoom out. My bad. Next agate. Just has an eye on the end. I think this one's ready to move along too. So I'm going to put this one in the vibe. The great bands. Looks like an undersea cave, doesn't it? That's going to be great polish. That's another piece of the, might be Katy Mountain. I'm not 100% sure. Some Asbury agate? How about Jaspery agate? That was a new word. Oh, goodness. Then let that go in the rotary a little while longer. Another beautiful agate that's just got the window on the end. I really like these. They're so beautiful. This one's ready for the vibe too. The one with some good banding in it. And some plumes. We're going to leave that one in the heavy grit for a little while longer. I love the little, looks like the bottom of an ocean floor there. Then slice off of an agate. Some great banding in it. You just can't tell from the outside what's going to happen. Oh, doggy hair. Isn't that nice? I think this one has been in for a very long time. Piece of stick agate, I believe. I'm going to move this into the rotary barrel this week. Agate of unknown origin. Maybe Malawi, probably, because it's got all these little pit things on the outside and it's not very big. Sometimes they get tossed in the tumbler because they just aren't worth, well, doing them on the flat lap isn't going to help them at all. That's the better way to say that. So into the tumbler it goes. Just a lot of really nice agates in these 2 barrels this time. Not so much chert. It's got some interesting water lines going on there. And this one's ready to move into the polish. So that's what we're going to do. Here's the other half of that. I believe it was Mozambique. They have the tubes in it. You can really see the tubes here. That's just crazy. We're going to run that in the heavy grit a little while longer. Look at that, though. My goodness. Another really nice agate. We're going to put this one in the vibe. This is ready to move on. But it's just some really nice banding on this one. It's hard not to just sit and stare for days. So very neat. And if I remember correctly, this is porcelainite. I may not remember correctly, but I think that's what it might be. Certainly, if you know that I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. That's getting pretty close to being ready to move on. Oh, Hampton Butte. A little bit of that. We're going to put that in the polish. Starting to get down to the little bits. It's a pretty agate. We're going to put that one into the vibe also. There's another little bit of Malawi. It's not ready to move on yet, though. It's half of that other one. So that's going back in the rotary. Nice mossy agate. Pocket. We'll move this one on this week, too. Looking pretty good. Look at that moss in there. Very nice. Just a few more here. We'll let this run in the 60-90 a little longer. Just little bits now. Oh. It does catch my thick thumbnail, so it's going back in. Piece of horn coral. I'm going to move that one along too. It's wearing down to nothing. piece of this jasper. I'm gonna move that one along too. That's gorgeous. Here's the other little piece of that horn coral, the other half of it. I have worn down to nubbins. But look at how cool that is there. I think those are called septa, if I remember correctly. Move that along, and then just a few chips. We'll move these along too. So this is what the barrels are looking like. This one vibe is probably 3/4. It's got a little bit more. It needs to go in there before I start that. This is the second week for this batch. And this one's going to have some extra put in because it's just not anywhere near full enough. So let's pick something to put in there. We're going to put some chopstick in here to fill up the empty space and add the grit and let it go for another week and see what we come up with.